In this video, we're going to be looking at the point-slope form of a linear equation. If you find this video helpful, share, like, and subscribe. Key concept of point-slope form of linear equation. The point-slope form of an equation of an unvertical line with a slope m and through point x1, y1 is y minus y1 is equal to m x minus x1. So in symbols, if you're going to be looking at our point, it's actually x1 and then y1. Okay, so here your y1 in here is actually your y coordinate in this point that has been given. And your x in here is going to be your x coordinate in this same point that you are given. Okay, remember slope is always m. Always remember also that slope is going to be the rise over the run, or it's going to be the change in y over the change in x. Okay, so by looking at the graph, when you use y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1, here your x1 represents a specific point. Keyword in here, specific point, and xy represents any point. Okay? So here, if you're going to be looking at this simple point in here, that is actually your specific point. Okay, so from that specific point, you can actually get your slope, which is equal to rise over run. Okay, so writing an equation in a point slope form. Okay, I would like to say something in here that the point slope form looks this way. Y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1. So we're going to leave our equation this way. We don't have to simplify them for now. Okay, number one, a line passes through negative 3, 6 and has a slope of negative 5. What is the equation of the line? Okay, so let me just write our formula here. Y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1. So in this case, our m is equal to negative 5 and our point is negative 3, 6. So let's just substitute that one. Y will remain. Our y1 here is this one. This is our x1. So it's going to be x minus 6 is equal to our slope, which is negative 5 multiplied by x, and then your x1 in here, which is minus 3. So I'm just going to simplify that. Y minus 6 is equal to negative 5 x plus 3. Okay, so this is our final answer for this point slope form equation. Okay, number two, a line passes through 8, negative 4 and has a slope of 2 over 3. What is the equation of the line? Okay, so we know y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1. Okay, here we know our slope is equal to 2 over 3. So let's substitute everything. Here, this is our y1 and this is going to be our x1. Minus 4 is equal to your slope, which is 2 over 3. X minus our x1 is 8. Now, let me just simplify this part. Y plus 4 is equal to 2 over 3 x minus 8. Okay, so this is our point slope form equation in here. Okay, point is 3, negative 4 and the slope is 6. So y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1. Okay, y minus 4, this is our y1, our x1, our slope is 6, x minus 3. Simplifying this part, that's going to give you y plus 4 is equal to 6 times x minus 3. Okay, so this is our equation. Next one, 4, 2, and the slope is negative 5 over 3. Y minus y1 is equal to m x minus x1. It's going to be y minus 2, it's our y1, and x1 is equal to negative 5 over 3 times x minus 4. Okay, that's your answer. Number 5, let's look at this one. Negative to negative 7, and the slope is 4 over 5. Okay, so y minus y1 is equal to the slope multiplied by x minus x1. Okay, so say y minus 7 is equal to 4 over 5 multiplied by x minus negative 2. Okay, simplifying both sides, it's going to be y plus 7 is equal to 4 over 5 x plus 2. Okay, so this is your equation in here. Okay, the next one, 0.40, and the slope is negative 1. So y minus y1 is equal to m x minus x1. So our y1 here is actually 0. So still, let's plug it in. Y minus 0 is equal to negative 1 x minus 4. Now, y minus 0 will always be just y. So that's going to give you negative 1, or we can also say negative x minus 4. Okay, so I hope you have learned something in here on how to write an equation in the point slope form. Graphing using point slope form. What is the graph of equation y minus 1 is equal to 2 over 3 x minus 2? Okay, so in here, what I would like you to do is look at and understand the steps carefully. Okay, so the first step you're going to do, step 1, is going to look at what is the point. Remember, this is your y, this is your x. So the x will come first, that's going to be 2, and then 1. Then the second one is to identify your slope. Your slope is equal to 2 over 3. Now that you have identified this one, the second thing that you're going to do is I would like you to plot 2, 1 on the graph. Okay, so here's our graph, 2, 1. Okay, 1 and 2, that's gonna be 2, and then 1, this is 1. So this is their meeting point. So from that point, I would like you to look at your slope. Your slope here is 2 over 3. That means that it's going to go up twice, and it's going to run 3 times on the right side. So let's do that. Okay, it's going to be from this point 1 and 2, and then it runs 3, 1, 2, and 3. So the next point is actually located at 5, 3. Now with these 2 points already, we can now start creating our line. Just connect that one, extend it. Okay, so this is going to be the graph of our equation. So if you're going to be looking at this one, this part is going to actually be your slope. This is going to be 2 going up and then running 3 on the right side. Okay, so that's how easy it is. Let's go for number 8. Here, graph the equation y plus 3 is equal to 2 times x minus 1. Okay, that's like the first one, step 1, I would like to get my points here. It's going to be 1 and then minus 3. And then here, my slope is 2, or simply 2 over 1. Okay, so let's first plot our point at 1, negative 3. This is 1, and then 1, 2, and 3. This is going to be our negative 3. So the meeting point is somewhere here. So this is our 1, negative 3. Now from this point, once again, we're going to use our slope, which is 2. It goes up 2 and goes to write ones. Okay, so let's do that. Here it's going to say 1 2 and then 1. Okay, we're gonna put another one in there. Okay, so from these 2 points already, we can now make our line. Okay, so it's not accurate, but you can see the idea in here. So this is how you're going to graph equations in a point slope form. Okay, let's try this one. What is the graph of the equation y minus 2 is equal to 4 over 9x minus 3? Okay, so let's recognize our point. Here, my point is located at 3 and then 2. And my slope is 4 over 9. It means that it goes up 4 units and goes right 9 units. So this is quite long. Okay, so in this case, I can say that my graph is not enough, so I'm just going to make a new one in here, okay? Okay, so first let's create our x and y. So it's going to be this much. So let's point out 1 2 3. That's going to be 3, and then 2 1 and 2. Okay, this is going to be my graph, and the point 3 2 is located in here. Now we're going to use our slope, which is 4. It goes 4 1 2 3 and 4, and then it goes 9 here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9. So from here it goes 4 from there, and then it goes, that's 4 units, and now it goes to here for 9 units. So from these 2 points now, I can now start creating my line. Okay, there you go. It's not an accurate one, but at least you can see a little visualization on how to graph this equation in point slope form. Writing an equation in point slope form from a graph. So if you're going to be looking at our graph in here, they actually put 2 points already. Okay, so I can see that the line is going up, so the slope here is positive. So the first step I'm going to do here is to find my slope using slope formula. Okay, you still remember your slope formula? Your slope formula is m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 then x1. Okay, our y2 is going to be this one. This is going to be our y1. So that's going to be 4 minus 3 all over 1 minus 2. Okay, that's going to give you 4 plus 3, and this is going to be 1 plus 2. This is going to give you 7 over 2. Okay, so the slope is 7 over 2. Now let's just get 1 point. Maybe I'm going to get the first point in here below. So y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1. Now here y is going to be, my y1 here is going to be minus 3 is equal to my slope, which is 7 over 2, x minus 2. Okay, so if I'm going to simplify this one, this is going to give you y plus 3 is equal to 7 over 2, x plus 2. Okay, so this is our answer for this question. Okay, the next one, we are given 2 points again on the graph. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is to look at this point. What are these points? It's going to be 1 2 negative 2 and then negative 1. So this point is negative 2 negative 1, and this point is 1 3. Let's find the slope. Okay, so since the slope is positive, it's going up, this is going to be my y1, 3. That's going to be 3 minus 1 over 1 minus minus 2. Okay, this is going to give you 3 plus 1, and the other one is 1 plus 2. 3 plus 1 is 4, 1 plus 2 is 3, so my slope is going to be 4 over 3. Now, I can also use this point, not only the one below, but also the one on top, to form my equation. So y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1 with the point 1 and then 3. Okay, so let's put it in. Y minus 3 is equal to my slope, which is 4 over 3, x minus 1. Okay, so that's it. That's how simple it is. Okay, let's go for another one. Okay, let's look at the points in here. This is negative 3, and this is going to be 2, 4. This is going to be located at 4. The other one is at 1. This is going to be 1 and 1. Okay, so the line is going down, so it means to say that the slope is negative. So this is going to be my y1, this is going to be my y2. So let's find the slope. The slope is 1 minus 4 over 1 minus minus 3. So this is going to be 1 minus 4 is negative 3. 1 minus minus 3 is going to give you 1 plus 3. 1 plus 3 is 4. So the slope here is negative 3 over 4. Now let me use 1, 1 as my point. Okay, 1, 1 to create my equation. So y minus y1 is equal to my slope x minus x1. Y minus 1 is equal to my slope, which is negative 3 over 4, x minus 1 also. Okay, so this is the equation of this line. Okay, I guess there's one more. Number 13. So there are two lines again. Let's look at the coordinates of these two lines. The line is going up, so it's positive. So let me start from below here. This is going to be 1, 2, 3. This is going to give you negative 3, and the y coordinate is negative 1. While here, this is going to be coordinate here is 1, and that's going to be 2. 1, 2. Okay, let's find our slope. So since this is going up, then 2 from the top, this is going to be my y2, and this is going to be my y1. So that's going to be 2 minus minus 1 all over 1 minus minus 3. Okay, we already know 2 minus minus 1 is going to give you 2 plus 1, and 1 minus minus 3 is going to give you 1 plus 3. So that's going to give you 2 plus 1 is 3. 1 plus 3 is 4. So my slope is 3 over 4. This time I'm going to choose my point 1, 2 to create my equation. 1, 2. Okay, so y minus y1 is equal to my slope multiplied by x minus x1. Okay, filling it up, that's going to be y minus 2 is equal to my slope, which is 3 over 4 x minus 1. Okay, so that is the equation of the line. Okay, writing an equation from a table. It says here, the table shows the altitude of a hot air balloon during its linear descent. What equation in the slope, here, slope-intercept form, gives the balloon's altitude at any time? What do the slope and y-intercept represent? Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is the constant rate of change. Okay, the rate of change in x. Okay, that's actually remember your slope is going to be a change in y over the change in x. So let's look at it. The difference between 590 and 640 is going to give you negative 50. Yeah, negative 50. The difference from 490 to 590, it's gonna give you 100. The difference from 440 to 490 is still going to give you negative 50. Now let's go on the x side. The difference from 30 to 10 is gonna give you 20. The difference from 70 to 30 is 40, and this is going to be 20 also. Now if we're going to look at the rate of change in here, we call it the rate of change, which is the change in y all over the change in x. Let's look at negative 50 all over 20. Negative 50 divided by 20 is going to give you negative 5 over 2. Negative 5 over 2, or that's around negative 2.5. Now let's do the same thing with negative 100. Let's say change in y over change in x. This time it's going to be negative 100 divided by this 40. That's going to give you negative 10 over 4, and 10 over 4 is the same as 2.5, negative 2.5. Last, I'm going to look at this one this time. Okay, that's going to give you negative 50 all over 20, which is the same like the first one. That's going to give you negative 5 over 2, and negative 5 over 2 is the same as negative 2.5. So if you're going to see the rate of change in here, the rate of change is negative 2.5. It means that it's going to be a negative 2.5 negative 2.5 meters per second. Okay, let's have per second. Per second. Okay, so that means that this is the constant rate of change that's actually going to be our slope in here. So answering the first question in here, what equation in the slope for intercept form gives the balloon's altitude at any time? So we found out that our slope here is equal to negative 2.5. Okay, the question in here is, what's gonna be our y-intercept, or the b value? Okay, so let's look at the graph in here. So say because the graph is started at 10. Okay, here it started at 10. I'm just really wondering, okay, here this is time in x, which is in seconds, and the other one is actually in altitude. Okay, y, which is in meters. Now, let me just bring you something to this question. What do you think is going to be the amount here? Let me start from this point, okay, because it started with 10 seconds here, and this is going to give you 640 meters as altitude. But the question here now is, what do you think is going to be the altitude when the second is 0? Okay, so this is going to be a very nice thing to discuss. Okay. Now, if you're going to be computing this one, you are just going to remember that in this part, we should have a negative 2.5 also, yeah? Negative 2.5. Here, we already know the change, which is 10. So our slope in here is going to be change in y over change in x. Now, do I know my y? No, I don't know my y, so can I put that as my a? Okay, and then over 10 is equal to negative 2.5. Okay, so cross multiply them. This is like over 1. My a now here is going to be negative 2.5 multiplied by 10, and this is going to give me negative 25. Now, what will I do with this a? I'm going to add this, so 640, in order for me to know that altitude when s is equal to 0 or time is equal to 0, I will just add this one to this 640. So 640 plus 25, this is going to give you 665. So this is going to be 665. Now remember that your y-intercept is actually at 0 when x is equal to 0. In this case, you can see that this is 0. Therefore, to answer our question earlier in here, what's going to be our b? Our b here is going to be 665. This is going to be our constant. Okay, so that's now your constant in here. So with all that said, we can now create our equation. Okay, so the equation in slope-intercept form is going to be y is equal to negative 2.5x plus 665. Okay, this is our equation in here. The second question is, what do the slope and the y-intercept represent? Okay, let's see. The slope is going to be negative 2.5 meters per second. Okay, you can see it from here earlier when we calculated the ROC, or the rate of change. Okay, so if you're going to be look at the altitude, y, that's going to be in meters, and x is in seconds. So the slope in here represents negative 2.5 meters per second, which is the descent. This is the rate of change of the descending of that balloon. The second question is, what about the y-intercept? The y-intercept represents actually the height where the balloon is here. That's going to be 665 meters when the time is, okay, here when t is equal to 0. Okay, t. Okay, because in here we have our time in seconds. So when t is equal to 0, sorry, I don't have to write it that way. It should be okay, let me just do this one. Is when t is equal to 0. Okay, so it means to say that the height where the balloon is around 665 meters above. Okay, so I hope you understand this one. I would like you to watch it again if there are still some confusions on your mind, especially on the way I showed you these calculations. So this is all about point-slope form of a linear equation. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you find this video helpful, share, like, and subscribe. Thank you.